So come to me, mortals, and face my trial. The great journey begins.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of our brand new Warhammer 40k 8th edition campaign. This is the Great Journey, as we have 8 factions, each using a custom-made Path to Glory system, attempting to escape a region of space known as the Chuthonian Void, which you all heard in the story time. So, planets get regularly pulled into the Chuthonian Void, and the factions need to raid these in order to gain the supplies they need to keep themselves alive long enough to reach Chuthonia. So, first up, how that's basically done is we determine which factions are playing, either via random rolls or whatever we feel like, until they've all played, and that's basically a round. And then we've rolled randomly to determine the type of planet and the type of game, using the Only War mission. So the type of planet we're playing on is the Twilight World. So Twilight World, you know, one half is light, one half is dark, and there's that center sweet spot. Now, the battle zone for this mission is the night fighting battle zone. So, from the main rulebook. So, we'll cover that briefly and keep that in mind for you. Go consult that. So, first we'll take a look at the 2 different warbands that are facing each other in this first match. There are no resource bonuses for actually fighting on Twilight World, so we'll cover that at the end when we look at how this Path to Glory system works and how it expands. So the system begins with 25 power for each warband, and they have to select one of several HQ options, and basically that HQ option, you minus that power from the 25, and that determines the rest of the power that you have to build your little patrol detachment with, and it must be a patrol detachment. Again, we will publish all the rules and everything for this on our blog, so just look out for that if you have more questions. So, beginning with the Scions of the warband from the Scion of Cain, the Eldar starship, we have one Autarch, completely WYSIWYG with Avenger Shuriken and Power Sword, as our leader. And then our minimum 1 troop from our patrol is the Rangers. So the rest of the warband includes 3 Wind Riders in our fast attack slot, 5 Dire Avengers inside of the 2nd troop slot, and a Howling Banshee squad, and a Dark Reaper squad, all minimum. They all have an X-Arch, those Aspect Warriors. And then finally we have a Warlock as well. I don't feel them very often, so this will be interesting. And that is the warband for the Scions of Cain. Now, we'll take a look at the Salamanders from the Strike Cruiser Black Dragon. Alright, so the Salamanders, their chosen HQ was a Captain in Gravis Armor, fresh out of the new starter set, Dark Imperium. Fantastic set, fantastic models. Then he's taken a tactical squad, 5-man, as his primary troops. So the rest of the warband has been filled up with 5-man assault squad, an ancient, and a lieutenant. And that is 25 power on the dot. It's 25 power on the dot for both. It's a real price difference with Space Marines, isn't it? Yeah. So this will be interesting. You are a lot tougher, but I do outnumber you. So we'll deploy, and we'll get straight into it, and get on with battle report. The scenario for the victory conditions for the Only War has already been decided. It is the Control and Slay. where each victory point is worth 2. Each objective marker is worth 2 victory points, and killing the Warlord earns D3. We're all deployed up, with Space Marines finishing up first, so they'll take first turn. We have the Assault Marines hiding in this building here. We have the Lieutenant camping an objective. We have the Captain and Gravis there. We have the Ancient supporting these Tacticals, who are camping the second objective. For the Eldar, we have Dark Reapers here, up top in a nice vantage point. Some Dire Avengers here. The Autarch there. We have the Howling Banshees and the Warlock, who's got Enhance and Drain. And the Bikes here. And we're just going to go into the movement phase. Alright, so Space Marine player opted to sort of withdraw and hide his stuff from view from the Dark Reapers, while also advancing forward in a way where I couldn't hurt him advance. So the Tactical Marines are at the back here. The only way I can see them is a single Ranger. The Ancient advanced. The Lieutenant moved up here, the Captain and Gravis, and the Assault Marines advanced upon here, getting them into both shooting range for the what are my own units called again? No, these guys. The Rangers. As well as being within charge range for the Banshees. Alright, so now we'll go into no psychers for you, so shooting phase. Alright, so the Assault Squad split fired, and they scored a lot of flamer hits, but these guys are in cover, so they got a 3-up save.
Yeah, you flamers kill things now.
Oh, you and your flamer hate. And then the bolt pistols kill the girl. So now we'll go into your charge sub phase, or your charge phase. Are you going to declare any charges? Alright, I will overwatch with them. Bring the results of that. So, they overwatched, and they scored 1 hit, but no wounds. And then they got an 11-inch charge, only needing 9 inches. So they're in, and they've dragged in the Warlock as well. So now we'll go to the fight sub-phase. In the assault phase, the Thunderhammer squished the Warlock to a pulp with 2 solid hits. Invul save did nothing. And then
Everyone else did nothing.
everyone else actually kind of whiffed against the Banshees, who did pretty well on their 4-up saves. But then they really struggled to cause wounds back. But still reliably killing 2 guys. So that brings us to the end of the fight sub-phase and into the morale phase.
Yeah.
So morale phase, no one can actually fail their morale test, because they're leadership 8 and they lost 2 guys, and I'm leadership 8 and I lost 1 guy. Warlock's dead. So now we'll go into the Eldar turn 1. So I advanced the Dire Avengers up for 10 inches. I advanced the Autarch up 7, 8, 9 inches. The Reapers stayed where they were. Still working on blocking that. They stayed where they were. The Howling Banshees decided to stay in combat, and the Bikes moved to get within range of targets down there. So, my 1 Psyker is gone. Kudos. So, now I guess I'll just go into the shooting phase. So, these guys, moved on forward. Actually, they didn't shoot anything, yeah. So, the only thing that happened in the shooting phase, after these guys took some shots at a Marine down there, and he saved his 12 armor save, I shot with one with these Banshees here into these guys. We managed to get a single Blade Storm wound, which he tried to save by assigning to the Thunderhammer Combat Shield Sergeant, but unfortunately you failed your save. And then these guys, as I went to shoot with them, I realized I had made a terrible mistake. I could not shoot at these characters because they were still closer to these. Yeah, it's a bit weird. But still, that's saved the Space Marine characters a turn of 9 strength 6 shots. Put them easily within assault range, unfortunately. So, we'll go into the charge phase. No charges to declare. So we'll go straight into the fight phase with these guys. Complete whiff for the fighting. I scored some hits but failed to wound anything with everything there, and you failed to hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Next to those bench blasts.
And there's no morale phase because nothing this turn took any casualties. Oh no, you took 1 casualty,
They can't fail.
but they can't fail. So, yeah. That was...
Underwhelming.
For my turn 1, I killed a single model. I killed more in your turn.
Yes, you did.
So, on to Salamanders. Turn 2. The tacticals repositioned so that these guys couldn't see them at all. These commanders advanced up, looking to have a go at different targets. And the Assault Marines actually retreated. But they have fly, so they can still shoot, can't they? So, now we'll go into the shooting phase for the Space Marines. So, some pretty good firing in your shooting phase. You combined fire from these 2 characters, brought down a bike, which is, 3 less strength 6 rending shots I'm gonna get. These guys with their flamers roasted 3 out of 5 of these guys, so they're in danger of running away. And you were out of range for these guys by a couple of inches, so that was it for your shooting. So now we'll go into your charge sub-phase. So quickly, any charges? Sub-phase, it's just a phase now.
Yeah.
Charge phase.
I'll give it a try.
Alright, so we'll come back to you after we've done some charges. Okay, so the charge into them failed, and the Overwatch did a single wound but was easily saved, because it didn't score any hit.
Yeah.
And that was actually it for your charges. So now we'll go quickly into
No
morale
fights.
phase. There are no fights here. Alright, so morale phase, these guys couldn't fail, but these guys actually could, and I ended up very unluckily losing 1 guy. So that brings us into Eldar turn 2 now. So hopefully the Eldar can do a little something to help us out. So big movement phase for the Eldar, repositioning pretty much everywhere, advancing the Banshees forward. These guys didn't advance. I have to correct my terminology now, because it means something different. These guys moved forward, they're 8 inches. These guys advanced, they're 24 inches. These guys actually stayed still. The Autarch moved to get into range to give them the effect of her aura, but was just outside to give them. Couldn't do both. And the single ranger moved forward to try and get shots at anything at all. So now we'll go into the shooting phase. Alright, so in the shooting phase, these girls shot at the Primaris in Grav Captain and failed to wound. The Exarch with his Tempest Launcher, amazing gun this edition, completely removed those final 2 Assault Marines by himself after the Autarch had had a few shots at them. These guys, only 3 were in range and managed to actually reduce that Lieutenant down to 1 wound. The Ranger here fired but failed to wound. The squad of Marines hiding behind that building. And these guys shot, and things battle focus were hitting regularly, but still somehow failed with lots of twos, and only inflicted a single wound to the Primaris Ancient. So now we'll go into the charge phase. So for charges, I'm going to declare them into your captain. So we'll be back with the results of that. So Overwatch didn't hit any of them. They got in with an 11-inch charge, nice and easy, and then the lieutenant actually heroically intervened to join the combat, so that he would be safe from future gunfire and kill some Banshees while I was unable to target him. So now we'll go into the fight phase. Alright, so kind of worked out pretty much how the Eldar expected. Not as well as it should have gone, really. The captain should have finished off the last.
I rolled
several.
too many twos, not enough ones.
So the net result was dealing 2 wounds to the captain, and then the 2 of them combined killing 3 Banshees and putting no wounds on the Exarch. So that's the end of the fight. We'll just quickly do morale. So, no morale loss there. Managed to stay in with 1. So now we swing back around to the next battle round and turn 3 for the Space Marines.
So the only thing of note that happened in the movement phase was the lieutenant retreated from this combat. Put himself
Somewhere where he won't get shot at. And these guys just adjusted themselves to get good fire on the bikes, and that's it.
So shooting was quite pathetic, scoring absolutely nothing, and then even with his reroll scoring absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the most damage that actually happened was taking
The Primaris's bolt gauntlet got a wound off of her.
And that's it. So really exciting phase there.
Yeah.
Now to charge and assaults.
With a bit more success, he managed to weather the Overwatch and get into charge distance of these guys.
So, yeah. Now for fight phase.
So in the close combat phase, the Gravis captain expectedly finished off that Exarch and moved on.
Yeah.
Well, over here, this guy sadly failed to damage these guys with their saves, and took a wound in return thanks to his poor save rolling.
Yeah. The flag was not an effective weapon.
So, but no morales to be checked this phase, so straight onto the next Eldar turn.
Yep. So beginning of the movement phase, moved these guys up, and advanced them. The Dire Avengers got really bad advance rolls.
The command reroll.
Yeah, well, even with that, it was still pretty bad. Kind of want my fleet of foot back. The Ranger stayed where he was, and the bikes fell back and advanced. So they bravely ran away, but they have the fly keywords, so they can still shoot. Bravely ran away. So that is it for my movement. So now the Eldar are gonna do some shooting with what can shoot. Okay, so there was some shooting. These bikes were forced to target the captain and did nothing. The Dark Reaper Exarch managed to kill the lieutenant, and the Ranger actually inflicted a mortal wound with a sniper rifle, but his regular wound was saved. No charges, no morale, so no fights. So straight into turn 4, yeah. Next battle round, turn 4 Space Marine.
Okay, so in the movement phase, these Marines moved around here to get some rapid fire action going on onto them. Well, these guys continue to play cat and mouse with the bikes over there.
We'll see how they do in the shooting phase.
These guys shot at them and because I suck at rolling, I managed to kill the X-Arch only.
Yeah.
And then over here, thanks to Jay's incredible dice rolling skills, nothing happened.
Yeah, I passed 2 5-up armor saves.
And 2 4-up saves. So, statistically, you should have taken 3 wounds there, but you took none.
Yeah.
So, overall, shooting phase pretty much wasted. Charge phase.
So in this combat, we managed to squish one with a power fist, but they made the rest of their saves, and then killed nothing in return. And then over here, the Gravis Captain wiped out the 2 bikes with the sword. However, he is a little bit exposed to them. But we'll see if they can get line of sight.
Easily.
Next
I just
turn.
checked.
So now we go to morale phase. We've got morale to take on them.
I've got something different in one.
They couldn't physically fail their morale test, so moving on to Eldar turn.
Alright. So, movement phase, there was a bit of shuffling around, they retreated. Shooting phase, these guys unloaded everything they had in there. They actually got pretty unlucky with their hits and wounds.
Yeah.
And then their armor saves as well. But they did manage to kill 2 guys. And then she was just really unlucky as well. So that was it for my shooting. Oh no, I still have 1 guy to shoot, so I'll crank that. Alright, so quickly doing him. He actually hit them, did a mortal wound. So flat out just killing 1, and then the other one. So now, charge phase, I'm going to declare a charge into them with the Autarch. Alright, so charge succeeded. I took 2 wounds on the Overwatch, unfortunately.
But thanks to the command point, you
Even with my Warlord trait, that gave me the 6-up feel no pain. But, yeah.
Thanks to a command point, you managed to kill both of the Marines instead of just one of them.
And even you tried to your last command point to keep 1 alive,
Yep.
to try and power fist, but it just didn't work. And then I consolidated towards them.
That's it.
Yeah.
So last battle round.
Yep.
Okay, they really had no choice since they only have 2 models left, and it's the last turn. He's going to take this objective, and he's going to take this objective, and they just have to hope that they can survive.
Yeah.
If they live, then it will probably be a draw. If one of them dies, then it'll be GG. Actually, no. I'll still win because I got first blood.
It'll depend on the outcome because your Warlord is worth D3.
True. Alright, well, let's see how they do. I've got 1 dude who might be able to shoot something, and that's it.
So he managed to kill the guy up there with his bolt rifle, and he's obviously not in range of shit, so
That's it. There'll be no charges, no fighting, and no morale. So, straight on to the last turn of the game.
So these guys advanced and got up here to claim this objective, and the Autarch advanced as well, keeping them inside of her aura. And they actually stayed where they were because they have perfect line of sight across over to him. So, yeah. So now we'll go into the shooting phase. So, in the shooting phase, they all shot at him. I don't think they actually did any...
You did 1 wound.
I did 1 wound, yep. And then finally, the Dark Reapers shot. They failed to kill the captain. And this guy split fire, sent his shit tons of shots into the Ancient and removed him. And thanks to Line Breaker, that puts me 1 ahead because you're only holding 1 objective. Each objective is worth 2 victory points.
So I had 3.
Yeah. And I end up with 5. So that concludes the game. Unless... Oh. No. You're right, I'm not on that. Not bad. Give us a moment while we calculate. I came to the conclusion that since I'm not horizontally 3 inches from it, and that this one didn't count, so it ends up still being a draw.
Basically, because of the wording, it says you've got to be within 3 inches of the center of the objective marker, which is basically the bottom of the marker, the center of where it's positioned. These guys are not 3 inches away because of how high up they are. So this objective was actually not controlled by them there.
Yeah. So
we ended up with 3 points apiece. because we each controlled one objective. You had Linebreaker, I had First Blood.
Yeah. And no one had the Warlord kill, which was worth D3 in this mission.
Yeah.
So it ends in a draw. Now we'll take you through the little bit of the army building.
Do you want to do a tiebreaker, my Warlord versus yours in close combat?
Nah, it's not the same. showing you up on the screen, T got plus 10 because he used his resources to get 2 dice, and he used 1 for a reroll. And then I have a lot less power because I used 3 resource to add a d6, and then I used 10 resource to change my faction keyword. I ended up getting a lot less power, so unfortunately I won't face the Space Marines again because of how campaign works. Each of the 8 factions has to face each other once, but there's a chance I could be the underdog in the next round. We don't know who's fighting who in the next round. It's pretty much who we feel like in terms of war order, but it does go. Every faction has to fight each other once before we get to the grand final, which means this campaign will probably run for about 16 weeks, and we're doing it fairly on and off. But it should be interesting with this kind of format. And that's really just how it works. So next battle, T will have 10 power, which he can spend to add new units into his force, and I will end up having something like what did I roll? 5. Yeah, so I'll end up having 5, which is another squad. So yeah, that's the point of this, to sort of get used to 8th, and as well as give us a fun new format that's kind of variable and slow growing, that's more about our warbands, because I like those small, more intricate campaigns. So yeah, so thank you for watching, and see you next time, and we hope you enjoy the great journey. As always, the rules for this will be available online if you desire them. They will be up on our blog in a whole new page. There will be links in the description. Yada yada yada. All that stuff. Check out our other stuff. If not, enjoy. Have a nice day. And, yeah. Hope to see you soon.